Kalonzo Musyoka is not thinking, and as far as I'm concerned, whether he gets 800,000 votes or not, he is inconsequential. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there's no one, and I beg anyone on Twitter, on Facebook, on this show to explain to me what Kalonzo Musyoka gets. And then number two, the guy is not even going to campaign. He doesn't have the money. So what is he going to do? He's going to sit, bother us with press conferences in Karen where the tea and snacks are free, and then waste our time for 6 months. I am telling you the truth.
There is something to be said for sticking it to the boogeyman. I mean, what you get by just the satisfaction that, you know what, I have denied you my constituency. Fine, it's not enough to get me to State House, but you know what, if you can't have me, you know, it's the thing with a breakup. If you don't think I'm good enough, then I'm walking away plus with my goodies. That's why people take away cars from their girlfriends in the middle of traffic. But in this particular situation, in my opinion, Kalonzo is just trying to show, you know what, I know I'm not getting it, but neither you.
And then for what, Joy? For what?
For just that thing of, you know what, you were supposed to have treated me better, you did not, so I'm just denying you.
And you're saying that what he's inserting is intelligent.
He's running for spoiler value. You know, it's one of those things where you sit at home sipping your pina colada saying, you know what, yeah, let him feel the same pain I felt. That's it. Because there are times when it gets, I'm telling you, there's times when it gets when it just said, you know what, yeah, let the fellow feel exactly what I'm feeling.
This is not keeping up with the Kardashians. This is the fate.
Because I'll tell you something, the way it was even difficult to get Kalonzo into Azimio to begin with, he always demonstrated that he had something up his sleeve. I don't know why people thought that once he put paper to pen, he was going to settle down and pipe down. He started making all these messes way earlier. Lack of managing him. In fact, that's why somebody was saying he waited until HU was not around so that he could pull this stunt. Because I'm sure if the president was around, he would have given him one call and told him, you know what, yeah, stop whatever this is you're doing.
Can we discuss serious issues? For example, what is going to be the issue in this election given the two candidates? I'll tell you what it's going to be. Rigathi Gachagua is going to say that his 12 billion came from a wheelbarrow, went to university, got a motorbike, got a car, and then became a billionaire. That is going to be the story. On the other side, the story is going to be about a reform agenda, the credentials of the two candidates, and how Kenya is in safer hands with the two of them. That is going to be the question. Now, the reason why this is interesting to me, Jeff, is it's a very interesting pivot. The pivot here, the guys who like instant things, microwave things, are all below 30 and they want to be rich today, now and tomorrow. The people who want things to continue, who want predictability, who don't want CBC scrapped on the first day and we start changing how the expressway is done and things like that, are the people who are more mature, they're more conservative, and they kind of have grown up in the system as it is. So the question is, will we have the small bottom-up revolution that is being pivoted by the Kenya Kwanza Alliance, or will we continue to say that we need a safe pair of hands that is going to predictably handle corruption, predictably handle our economy, and not upset the things that have made Kenya the success it is across Africa? Because whether we like it or not, Kenya is the third largest economy in sub-Saharan Africa. That is not due to oil like in Nigeria or gold and diamonds and platinum by the bucketful in South Africa. It is due to sound economic principles and the hard work of the Kenyan people. So the question is, are we going to change the model of the hard-working Kenyan where the government provides you with the infrastructure and it's your job to figure out what it does? Or are we going to go the bottom-up side where the young people basically want a dump truck with food, they open their mouths, truck opens and food gets into their mouth? Who is going to win? That now is going to be the conversation. What the listener has to understand is they've got to make a choice, because what Kenya Kwanza is saying is there's going to be a revolution, and what Azimio is going to say, these are safe hands, you know what's going to happen. We're going to give you these promises of 6,000 for poor families. We're going to make we're going to make free healthcare. We're going to make free healthcare, and we're going to provide all these things in the system as it is. And Joy is about to pitch the revolution.
It's not it's not pitching the revolution. Any Kenyan, if you ask them right now, the biggest concern is the economy. The conversation is all about economy. It's not safe hands or unsafe hands. It's not up, it's not down. It's the economy. How are we going to make life easier for Kenyans? That's the only conversation. And even in Azimio, your conversation has had to move from this safe pair of hands. Yesterday you had Baba talking. What do I think? Was it yesterday, the day before yesterday? We talk about pesa mfukoni. It has gotten to a place where the conversation must be about the economy. And when you're looking at the bottom-up economic model, the big idea is to say, you know what, there's no way we're going to have, let's grow the big economy and hope that somehow it trickles down to everybody. It's saying, you know what, let's start with minding the little bits and pieces and hoping that they build to the bigger blocks. So when we come into this election, the one thing that we have to understand is many of the people who have already made up their mind yesterday's activities and the day before yesterday's activities, more or less, was just part of the show. That's not the conversation. The conversation right now is, what is your plan for reviving the economy? And that's what most Kenyans want to hear. Now, the bottom-up economic model has been harped, like you said, for a long time. There is a plan. There is a strategy. It has been written down. And it's not just been written down one size fitting all for the country. Every single region has had those economic forums. Every region has their own manifesto. They have their own promise that is being signed, region specific, because we've realized, you know what, if you make a plan for the whole country, it doesn't work, because the people who are looking at tea in central Kenya are not the same as the Lunjes who are looking at sugarcane and are looking for the revival of sugar. So that region specific also attitude is part of the bottom up. He's saying, you know what, let's listen to what people have to say, let's craft a plan specific to them, and then let's hold the politicians in that area to be able to deliver what the people need, as well as the government to deliver the enabling environment that we've been talking about. Another conversation that we also have to have, many Kenyans right now, one thing that they understand is that all politicians are born of one mother. There's no one who's clean and another one who's dirty, because all of them, well, truth be told, if we cut and just dissect, each of them has a can of worms. Everybody, including Martha, has her own little can of worms. As long as we're in Kenyan politics, if we look hard enough, we'll find a skeleton or two. And many Kenyans, I think, have gotten to a place where they're like, you know what, yeah, you guys come loaded with lies. We're going to live with the lies. What we want is that even if you come loaded with your lies, can you at least give us something to work with? Because right now, many Kenyans, their big concern is, look at the price of fuel. The way it's going, it's gotten to a place where, are we going to sustain this? This is not just a Kenyan phenomenon, it's a worldwide phenomenon. So we have to find a way of making Kenya survive in this global economic downturn.
There's no promise a politician can keep and be corrupt at the same time. That's not going to work. There's no way you can steal and work at the same time. Number two, the question you've got to ask yourself is, every politician will give you promises that is going to deal with your poverty. Azimio has it, Kenya Kwanza has it. The question you've got to ask yourself, and why that history becomes important, you've got to ask yourself, when the question of bread and butter was asked in 1992, where was Rigathi, where was William, where was Martha, where was Raila? When the question of bread and butter was asked in 2002, where was Rigathi, where was Ruto, where was Martha, where was Raila? The question is, who has consistently answered the questions of the poor and kept that promise? Not the Johnny Kamiti, 12 billion shillings richer, telling you now he's going to make you rich when he had a chance to do so and never did so.